back into the PPC. Happy Friday afternoon, everyone. As we're going to get right into the next set, or I should say, really the next region. I mean, we went through Europe, took a little break for Brazil, but now we're back here in North America for the last two sets of the day. I'm Fawn, joined here by Kresnik, and I'm excited to see Sanguine fight off and go up against Team Project, who's been a little bit behind in terms of how this season, or I should say, this phase, has been going so far.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at these two teams, think about our excitement for this matchup now versus our excitement for this matchup 5 weeks ago, right? When we when we saw it on the main broadcast, and how things have kind of flipped since then. Both of these teams close to the bottom in their respective regions, and both teams have made roster changes. I mean, Team Project picking up having Frog and Ancient in the roster now. Ancient replacing Hero, who's on the other team. This is that little bit of a I don't know if I can reasonably say Hero grudge match, because I don't know. There's bad blood. I think Hero just wanted to be on a team that scrimmed a little bit more in terms of Sanguine, but Hero and Quick coming in for Sanguine, totally new tank line. Gogurt flexing to full DPS now alongside Poison. So different looks for both teams as we get to see them go back into each other. I'm excited to see how they look now that both teams have had 5 weeks to get used to their team changes and to get used to how the meta's been looking so far in Phase 2.
I agree with that as well. I mean, Team Project, like we had said previously, I've sort of just been falling behind in its entirety. So hopefully with the shift in meta, we'll see them draft things a little bit more, I guess, on the nose, or on par, I should say, with how all of the other teams have been doing so far, and how we've been seeing a lot of this sort of heavy, aggressive dive compositions. We've seen the Ruckus, we've seen the ROM, we've seen so many things being brought out. But let's see how Team Project adapt today, and of course, I'm excited to see how both of these two teams, are going to end up playing in this matchup.
And I do have the map bans that I can get into us really quick. Team Project, Fish Market, and Bazaar, so two of the very wide, flat maps, and they don't want to play on either of them. And then Ice Mines and Frog Isle, banned out by Sanguine, which I think might be I feel like it's a bit of a target towards them, and it makes sense, right? They have Hero. Hero's going to know what maps they like to play, so Hero's going to say, oh, ban these two. It seems like it makes a bit of sense, and the map that got picked first by Team Project is going to be Splitstone Quarry, with the bans coming in here on the draft project. Lost the coin flip last time, so they will be the ones with the first pick here. Project, I mean, a lot of things they can ban. I think I remember them ego banning the Vivian Victor last time, and it looks like that will, at least part of it will stay the same here, them getting rid of that. And Sanguine also staying consistent with what they like. Eevee eliminated from this draft phase. Don't know if that's a target to Frog in particular. Right. They do like to not play against that character in general, but they can play it too. I mean, they have Poison. It's not like they don't have it in the arsenal. They just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, Vivian, Eevee being banned out on both sides here, as we now see that the Corvus is going to be the next ban in line for Team Project. So you got rid of one of the pocket healers, you get rid of Atlas, so Genos is the only one that is available to them for now. And Team Project, we're going to scoop that one up almost instantly into their draft. Very, very solid pick so far, and Droxus seems to be the response from Sanguine, and Strix is going to be the last one for this round of picks.
I think it makes a bit of sense, specifically here on Splitstone Quarry, having the Strix, good for Sanguine, which like their hit scans. Having the Androxus, verticality is going to be important, and Accursed Arm can do quite a bit of damage, and can poke really, really respectably, I would say, from the side of Lava. If you can dash up, you can kind of fight whatever backline they end up taking on their team. Inara paired with the Genos, kind of the Project special, I guess, if you're looking back at week 1. But they got a Bomb King with it too, so that's Luminary boosted Bomb King. It can do still quite a bit of damage even without the 900 that he used to have. Solid pairing so far, but to me, I feel like they need a second support.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, they have a lot of pressure to not only put onto this Genos, but to make sure that Inara can live long enough just through Genos healing alone and through her own innate healing is going to be a tall task for even the best of teams. So hopefully let's see how Team Project adjusts their draft so far. And got the Genos, the Inara, Bomb King, Ashe, Cassie. That's how they're going to round things out. They feel comfortable enough in the solo heal Genos for this Inara to work, potentially. I mean, I'm not too sure, but Sanguine have drafted a pretty monstrous team already. Rom, Terminus, Strix, Androxus, Maldamba. Whose draft do you like better here?
I really don't know how I feel about the Genos with that. I think it can work, but I feel like you need to get more self-sustaining DPS, I think, to actually make it work. And they don't have self-sustaining DPS. They have Bomb King and Cassie. I guess Bomb King has, what, the 60 health, 75 health, depending on what level he runs the card at. Every time he deploys a bomb, Cassie maybe gets some healing from the blast shot, if that's the way that they looked at the build, but it might not be. It might not be those style of builds, and we don't normally look at them as sustainable characters.
Yeah, and we'll have to see, of course, once we get into game on Splitstone, how these teams will be able to keep themselves alive, how they're going to end up playing, because sure, you have the Genos to be pretty much put the Luminary buff on the Bomb King, the Ashe, the Cassie, but how's that going to play into not only Sanguine's draft, but that might put a damper on how aggressive they can be. We know the Genos healing is great in compositions like triple DPS. We've seen it happen before. We've seen Ruckus, Rom, and Genos being locked in almost instantly. We've seen that being the case. But in a situation like this, I'm not too sure how I feel about the survivability on the side of Team Project in the long run. These fights could go on for long enough, and Sanguine, they're great at having extended fights. All their characters are great at doing that.
Yeah, they can all kind of kite away, but we can head into the game and see where they want to be taking these fights as we head into the first mid in a little bit, but we can look at the talents first. And G-Bunny's going to be the only one who can really sustain himself as effectively with that lifesteal, assuming that's what he has in his build. So I'll check once I end up running down all of these talents. The Damba, I think, a great pairing with these tanks in particular. I mean, specifically Terminus, the speed spirits that he can give to that term to run in and get aggressive will be, I think, a big boon for that point trade to maybe lean in favor of Hero. Again, Hero kind of the revenge game against his team that he decided to leave to join Sanguine. We'll see where I'll even watch that matchup early to see exactly how that ends up.
6% already for Sanguine as Terminus, aka Hero, has gone directly to point, and with the Warder's field out, Nar hasn't really caused much trouble of anything. Of course, Rom is peeled for perfectly by the Terminus Siphon. And all he's doing is just eating more and more time away from Team Project to try and net some more percentages for themselves. Ancient is here and able to contest. They aren't able to garner any more percentages. The health poolers are not looking great on the side of Team Project.
And surrounded is them right now. Look at this Gokert actually dropping in, but they saw him. The shield went up in the way. Missed the shot, I think, that could have taken down Frog, so they give up Corey for a little bit, but they don't lose anybody. They'll back up. They'll reset their healing. Damba can do a great job at that, and this jump shot by Gokert could be lethal onto Frog, but he managed to line of sight the entire time, and the first pick actually goes the way of Project. They managed to maintain their health bars, but it's still a one-for-one trade, and now they don't have a point take.
Yeah, already missing one member apiece on either side means this is a 4v4, and Gokert in the back is of course looking for more and more opportunities to find damage into plenty of different targets, making it hard for anyone really on the side of Team Project to contest for this objective. This Hero now moves in, gets kinetic bursted forward, so now he's in a worse off spot. Is going to get taken care of is the tank. Now Gokert has to try and find his way out, but that's not going to be much longer as Gokert and Quick are both going to go down. 84% for Team Project already. It's a matter of if Poison can touch or not. He might not even try and go for it. It doesn't seem like he would much rather, deal with Frog on the high ground here. He's eating a lot of damage, 120 HP still remaining. So he's going to escape by the skin of his teeth.
I think it's just Poison being realistic. Look at this, attempting, staring right down, kind of giving away that he's going to go for that. Hero getting knocked down as well. Great by Bunny, keeping this pressure up and maybe being followed up by this King Bomb as well, which just catches Poison. Perfect by Frog. He'll get the first pick that could open the door for this push.
Got Frog, Poison locked in a 1v1. Of course, Frog, just as you mentioned before, is going to come out on top of that one. Brought down to pretty much no health is what Frog's going to be at right now. But he gets healed back up in the nick of time by Genos as Gokert decides to take out G-Bunny. Rock Monkey goes down soon after that as Ancient trades and pushes the odds towards the favor of Team Project by taking care of Gokert. Now, they are the ones in control of this point as everyone's sort of considering to back up, of course, except for the Rom here. Hero goes down, and that's going to be pretty huge for them as now Sanguine have to forfeit the space that Team Project are slowly gaining.
And Project, I think, bullying in a smart time. They catch Quick with the grip, knowing that Rom actually, I wasn't even thinking about it, but that was Rom picked into Genos, and Quick maybe getting a little bit overzealous without realizing that himself either. As Sanguine now need to set up for their defense. Poison's already in a good spot though. Poison playing around that elevator. He can poke down into the back. The Grumpy Bomb being thrown up front but not finding anything, and they don't know Poison's there, so he'll catch Cuss. Walks away with barely any HP left. Ancient looking for his, I think, 5th kill in a row. Top fragging on his team right now. I think Ancient's getting all the cleanup. They need to hope they can snowball that into a cap, but Rock Monkey dangerously low, and Quick's coming in with the people's elbow, but can't find Rock Monkey just yet.
There we go. Rom's already getting a lot of attention on him as Rock Monkey goes down soon after that. The tanks, they don't have the DPS to try and even win a trade with Rom. So they have to forfeit their space at a mine shaft to pretty much contest on point. But as soon as they do, all Quick does is just run right over him. Now they're in a situation where they not only have to give up their space, but also make sure they don't lose any more members. So they're in control of this one. Sanguine, the very commanding lead so far. Team Project have made it pretty far up there in terms of the cart. But not much more. The cart doesn't have much more to go at this point in time. The 10 seconds still remaining on the clock.
See what they can do with it. With the space they have actually right now inside. Good by them. Ash and Cassie taking a lot of ground here. Quick will have to spend the run, but Terminus pinches but immediately drops. They give up that ground they have, and Project will keep this held. But Quick wants to kind of stay stalwart, can't hold it. They're willing to commit ultimates though. Assert dominance use early will kill Gogurt, and that's a great look to start this.
Yeah, G-Bunny already is going to find a pick immediately. Thanks to the assert dominance to submit himself that kill. Cuss is going to be the next one to take care of Hero as well. As Poison is going to be the only one on the side of Sanguine in this engagement that has managed to get a kill. Quick and Hero decide to follow suit and take care of 2 more members on the side of Team Project. Wonderful body blocks as well from Hero, not allowing G-Bunny to push forward to contest for that cart. It's going to block out most of them in Mineshaft.
Yeah, at the end of the fight, unfortunate for Sanguine that they spent both of their tank ultimates, but they have a couple decent ones left. They have the Dread Serpent, they have the Accursed Arm, and they did manage to force out both tanks ults on the other side too. I think it's smart to use them kind of early in those engagements, see what you can make happen here. I was talking about having self-sustain, and Frog actually not really leaning that far in that direction. King's Court only at 3, so definitely going to need that mark on him pretty much all the time. And Rock Monkey looks like he agrees, also picking up, it looks like Rejuvenate. Not something you normally see off of tanks, and not even something you normally really see all the time. So Rock really thinking he needs to play into the sustain game, and Poison's going to try to keep up the pressure and not let that happen.
There we go. Let's see how this works out for him as he manages to land an impulse shot all the way into the back line, but it's not going to find much in terms of value as Frog rolls the King Bomb right on through. It's not going to find much of anything. They're trying in space to see if Cuss can maximize on that opportunity, but doesn't find much of anything either. A lot of ultimates being used on Team Project, but a lot of them going wild, and Gogurt gets kinetic bursted all the way onto the point. It actually puts him in a better spot to take care of Cuss.
It looked like that was actually a poppy bomb thrown by Frog, so unfortunate. Frog kind of gifting him that kill, but they clearly, maybe they don't even need those heals right now. Frog helping over here, Accursed Arm coming out, but it's all hitting the shield. Poison just can't find the crack to shoot through, and the health is rough, but they're still in an okay position. But finally, Sanguine is starting to find the cleanup.
Well, he goes down, and so does Ancient. Hero with a nice double kill means that they have cemented themselves onto the point almost instantly, and have an even better zone to accompany their point control. Now Team Project have to reconsider their options in terms of getting back to the point, as Frog is brought extremely low, but Ash comes in the nick of time to make sure she drops down that shield and protects whatever is necessary. More damage being plugged into Quick as well. 90% is available for Sanguine, but now they're able to at least make sure that the point is contested for the most part. Ancient tries to use the seismic crash, but that's not going to be enough for him. That's not good at all in this situation, as he now uses the assert dominance to see if he can maintain just a little bit more of control over the point. They just need to stall for a little bit longer. It seems like it might be working as 2 of them go down, but one of them has a resurrection. And that's going to be hard for Team Project to break through. Now that Anar has made her way back to point, G-Bunny goes down. Frog looks like he'll be low as well. No one else can really stall except for the Rom, who's right on in, runs right through Frog as well. Wall goes up, and they're still able to contest. They even take down Ancient in the process. And Sanguine, when the smoke clears, are the ones that are in control of this point.
That fight was all about on Quick, honestly, there near the very end. He sustains through so much, even with the fights on the side that I thought were going to decide it. I thought Gogurt falling pretty much guaranteed that they weren't going to be able to have that with the way that fight went, but Gogurt ends up doing enough damage to Frog, and then the Siphon came in to deny the rest of his damage, where it ended up not really mattering. Hero getting another trade up top onto G-Bunny. Ex-teammate on ex-teammate violence there as the cart keeps moving forward, but Frog, he finds one onto Poison, long distance it kind of looks like, and Team Project falling. This defense looks a little bit better with both their tanks getting kind of chipped out one by one.
Already, minute and 45 seconds still here on the side of Sanguine, as now Rom has to run right on in. King Bomb rolls through as well to see if he can catch anyone, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter very much. So Minute 35 seconds still remaining. The card is making significant progress, and the Dread Serpent might be a significant engage on the side of Sanguine. They managed to find one. Cuss goes down, and now they want to put a lot of pressure more on G Bunny up there on the Ash. He's eating a lot of damage too, and they have to move in. They take care of him. That's all she wrote. Frog will be the next one to go down, and Sanguine are now in more control than Team Project probably want them to be in.
And we'll see how far this can end up going. Poison with elevator control is smart. They already have all the sides. The thing is, nothing in mines. So if Project move out fast enough, they can use that. But a stun actually might just get Ancient killed immediately. They get him right away. Great stun by Steve there to find it, but the Cataclysm connects on only Bunny. Bunny's buying just a little bit of time. It might be enough.
He has to shoulder bash his way off of the objective to make sure he could find safety in the mine shaft. He not only finds safety, but he manages to find himself a kill as well. But same could be said for Poison, as he manages to end G Bunny's life. Rock, of course, in the back line is making sure that he's focusing on enough people so that way they can find those picks still when necessary. Rom is all over their Genos right now as he is running him down insanely, doing exactly what he can to put a damper on the defense of the Team Project. Down for 11 seconds is Cuss, meaning that they have to survive for quite some time. He seems like he'll be back up in enough time, but Quick is able to eat a considerable amount of damage from Team Project.
Quick has really improved over the last time he's been on the team, I think. Think about how it looked before when he was playing into counters. Now he's really making it work. Might even end up running in for this touch as they lose Hero early, but he runs off the point. Can't cancel it in time. They don't really care about that, though, I think. Just want to get ult charge, just want to put on pressure. And Sanguine did a great job on that mid with these damage charts and these kills. 7, 2, and 17 for Quick, who is on a 21 streak right now, the vast majority of those being in his last life. I will say, though, Project, the real clutch there on that defense was Cuss. Cuss was in the perfect spot to keep that point contested, I think, at the last second. He went in and just bought that little sliver of time they needed to go and give Ancient the respawn to let Ancient recontest it. And we're going to see a close mid-fight here. 9 ultimates going to be up, more than likely. Only the flashbang not there, and that's kind of a low-impact ultimate anyway. It's more of a peel thing, and Project don't really, other than maybe Ash, have a way to get onto him in the first place.
Right, exactly. That's what they're going to have to look for, or this is how they're going to need to adapt on the side of Team Project. They have a whole bunch of ultimates they could utilize here. Tries to use through time and space to see if they can stop Gogurt. That's not going to be enough. Ash dashes her way all the way into the back line, seeing if she can try and set up for a certain dominance here, and is going to barely manage to stun the Mount Damba. He's trying to escape, but Cuss is there to, of course, come around and make sure that target is accounted for. Of course, Quick in the back line, been living there the entire time. Is going to make sure that he plugs damage into Frog, but it's still not going to be enough. There's actually quite a few people that are all the way back here from the side of Sanguine. That's going to be a very, very good look for them. As Quick is going to see what he can find. A Cursed Arm goes out. Will they be able to kill Frog with it? No, but he'll be low enough to where he won't be peeking that angle or trying to contest the point anytime soon.
Now the King Bomb coming in from above the point. Who can come into touch? It might hit Hero, but I think he has resilience. They go for Poison instead. Hero lives. Quick might make up for it with a potential touch on the point. They use the Reanimate. Everyone on Project needs to be so careful, and the wall won't lift through the Cataclysm.
And that's going to be it. There's no Earthling Guard either, so she's going to get bursted down to virtually nothing. So now Gogurt is sitting pretty plenty in terms of the back line. No one's really been able to get back there easily on the side of Team Project to make sure that it is not contested. For the long run, 75% for Sanguine so far, and still steadily climbing. They were able to at least dismount on Nara, but she had to use her DR to get to point, which might be a little bit of an issue, but at the same time, they are using the scout. They want to commit. They want to commit to these fights as the wall goes up directly on point. Hero is going to still take care of Ancient, though. She no longer has an Earthing Guard to account for. Maldamba in the back, keeping everybody alive on the side of Sanguine, as Frog is still tossing out bombs. He's trying to do what he can, see if he can find anyone. And Poison, Baller Steve, and Gogurt are going to find 1 kill apiece, making it 3. The 4th one is going to be Frog, and that's going to be another point secured for Sanguine.
Unfortunate for Ancient, honestly. He tried to wall off Hero and ended up being a I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me kind of situation, because Hero got that pick right away. Great save on Gogurt, too. He's absorbing a lot of damage that could have killed him. He'll walk away, and Sanguine protect their streaks for just a little bit longer. With Poison and Quick looking to push this mines, but unable to get close just yet. That cart has to move closer anyway. Quick really got to be careful, taking a lot of chip from up front with Frog, trying to get aggressive. But I think that the defense Project now a little bit too far in, but he might catch Gogurt here just barely, missing the follow-up shots and a Dread Serpent appeal.
Yeah, perfectly timed Dread Serpent as well to make sure that he can peel for Gogurt so he can escape this scenario. Frog goes down low. He was pushing forward and trying to see if he can take care of Gogurt. That's not going to be the case, as Gogurt finally gets dealt with by Rock Monkey. From already pushing all the way in, swept all the way around from the side, dropped down from high ground, managed to find herself 2 very clean kills. Siphon to peel exactly for Rom. Don't know how much longer he's going to be able to live. He has to play around and determine Siphon if anything, and the flashbang goes out, finds at least 1 target, but not going to find much more than that.
Gogurt did a lot of damage there to kind of force them back, so space will be taken again by Sanguine, and we'll see how aggressive Quick can go into the middle of them. Listen, this would be the time for him to finally die after a while, but he manages to get away. Only Frog can really deal damage, and they have to deal with poison instead, and the chip damage is enough for Quick to get that here. Money buying as much time as he can on point, but Hero will get that, and an aggression will continue from Sanguine, taking all the space they need to. They need to have some people going on that top right to take mines, some people going to take that elevator side, and maybe just 1 tank remaining on the point here with Frog trying to contest into Quick, but just can't get the pressure onto him. Needs some more support.
35 seconds remaining. The car seems to be rounding this corner very effectively, but everyone's trying to contest from high ground by Mine Shaft. He's trying to see if he can hit who he can. Frog not able to find those marks quite yet. He's going to have to force himself to back away. He's going to end up using a Cataclysm as well to stop people from moving in. G-Bunny tries to escape. That's not going to be enough as Rock Monkey goes down soon after that. Gogurt follows suit, for at least on the side of Sanguine. They're missing 1 target, but there's so many people on the side of Team Project that are just waning. So many people that aren't going to be able to find absolutely anything. And that's going to be all she wrote. Sanguine with a 4-2.
Gus slowly gliding down to the point there near the end. Almost got to have the little bit of time to maybe get by them that refight, but just weren't able to do it. The King Bomb was really impactful, I think, from Frog there near the very end. It picked 1, almost got 2, but Terminus with that Resilience 3 was able to get back up and Siphon, and still had the Reanimate anyway, even if they got that next bit of damage in there. So let me get these stats ready for you guys to look at, and we can really judge how that game went as we take a look at this. It seems that the wrong number have been put in. Congratulations to those players who got to play their casual and have it put up on the official PPC broadcast. A lot of healing from PZ Rog, whoever that may be. Fortunately, as I take a look at this, but what was your big takeaway, I think, from how Sanguine played that game?
I feel like Sanguine were just able to find the picks very effectively. I mean, their draft, I mean, that's what it's made for, right? I mean, you have those opportunities to get picks. Every time somebody was trying to deal with Rom, Hero was there with the Siphon to make sure he peeled for his tank or for anyone for that fact, which means that they had a lot more survivability than I feel like Team Project were able to try and handle. Gogurt was there, but didn't really out-damage a lot of the different targets on the side of Team Project, as Poison was just able to find those picks. I mean, they were able to live pretty effectively in the back line. We saw Quick a lot of the time on this ROM, not only drawing attention to himself, but also making sure that he was able to get a couple of those picks as well. So I feel like it was just the draft. I feel like the draft in the long run really made things work out for them. The Geno, sure, that's great, but we had talked a little bit about it before. Ancient just wasn't able to live long enough. Had to use a lot of his DR to make sure he could even get to point to try and contest. And by that point, it was a little bit too late.
Can I talk about that self-healing really quick, by the way, from Quick? 54,000, by the way. An insane amount. A third of what a support healed in the entire game. Quick was able to heal himself for. Rom definitely playing to its strengths, I think, in that game. Quick keeping himself alive for quite a while. Not dying from that point. We got to see 8, 2, and 25 for him with, I think, close KDs. Otherwise, he was the only one that I think was staggeringly dominant in terms of that. Cuss dying quite a bit, but a lot of dive, even with Rock Monkey, who played to keep himself going there. And in close, in I think, credit earning. G-Bunny and Ancient both, I thought they made quite a bit of space for them and also did a lot of damage. Bunny almost with 100k for himself with Ancient right behind, but wasn't enough to turn the tides and help them win that. So I can take a look at what the next map will be while I get things prepared for that. And it looks like it could be Bright coming up next for these teams.
Yeah, and Bread Marsh, of course, one of those maps is, though, not only did the set start out that way last go around, but we also want to make sure that Jag is one of those maps too, right? A lot of people seem to like these sort of close quarters maps. They make it very, very prominent, if anything, to make sure that everything is all said and done on the side of whoever might be not only picking it, but whoever might be fighting quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely draft is going to be important on this map, as I think is standard expected. You have to pick the right things on this map, or it can be so snowbally. I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest part of it. Now, I apologize, guys, something we have to deal with really quickly, so I'm going to go to a quick break. When we're back, we're going to be able to continue on to Bright Marsh for Game 2 of this set.
Well, welcome back, everyone. You might notice I'm not funny. I had to step away, so I'm stepping back in here as we continue this set of Sanguine going up against Team Project here and the doubleheader that is North America as we close out our Friday PPC. A lot of fun things that could be going on. Of course, at least for me, if you read it up on Fawn's Twitter, I hope everything's going well for him. It's understandable while he had to step away. So we'll go ahead and crack this one down ourselves, Kresnik, as we move forward. Sanguine already up 1-0 here. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I want to say I'm colored surprised, but after phase one, I'm kind of not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different Sanguine, though, right? And like all the sets between them in the past have been contested. They've been close. So I think I'm not shocked to see Sanguine taking the first map, but we'll see how they can kind of carry it forward. As we mentioned before the break, Bright Marsh is where we're going to be headed. Sanguine's choice after that first map win, and we can head into picks and bans to see how they draft this differently, if there's anything that they prioritize. I wouldn't be shocked to see ROM, because I mean, Quick went 8 and 2 and somewhere in the 20s on his assists, almost unkillable, even playing into multiple counters on the other side.
Now, Kresnik.
Yes.
That seems pretty good, at least as far as I'm concerned.
I think so.
So I would say, yeah, it seems like a good idea to maybe try and pick that one back up. We'll have to see, though, as they start locking things in. Unsurprising, once again, to see Sanguine ban, of all things, Eevee. I'm kind of surprised to see, from what we used to see, it was always Eevee Mave, but I think Eevee is always going to be a consistency, especially, let's face it, it's a double-edged sword. They've got a lot of controller players, Project has Frog, the two line up, it's a special alignment of the stars to ban Eevee.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely makes sense. Sanguine always used to do it. The real change up here, the target ban, I think, is the Atlas. I mean, G-Bunny has been playing a lot of Atlas recently for Team Project, so I feel like that's the real target here. But with Corvus banned by Project, they pick up the Genos for themselves instead. The damage boost is going to be, I think, pretty significant for them, and Team Project now having to figure out exactly what they want to fill this out. It is Bright Marsh, get Ancient. That Inara, again, he looked great on it last game, I think, and they'll also take the Androxus away from Poison, who also performed pretty well on that pick last game. So Sanguine now need to have a response. I think you can go for a backline here. The hit scan ones are still up and available. Multiple choices depending on which way they want to go, but it'll actually be a point tank. Terminus did decent for them last game. Para's also a little bit better with that Genos, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm actually, again, just excited to see what they're going to be able to pick up. Terminus, like you said, better overall with Genos than Inara. Torvald, again, having to scrub my brain and come back into North America as the meta keeps changing every region we go to. It's hard to keep track of it, but Torvald has been pretty big over here as of late. Cassandra, Damba, Khan, and Nara, it's definitely going to be good for Project, leaving one flex pick DPS open. And even the BK getting locked in here, something that you don't get to see too often on the side of Sanguine, but I love it with a Genos behind him, a Torvald behind him. Look, if you want to say hyper carry, there's hyper carry right there.
Yeah, it's spooky. It's spooky looking into this draft with Bomb King Strix, both of them getting pocketed by Genos, and one of them at a time getting pocketed by Torvald. Not going to be field study. It's never really field study anymore. You want to play with that extra bit of sustain. You want that 1k, I think, shield, so you can burst that, make that sustain go even higher on Project. I don't know what they really want to deal with this, and I guess it's Shaw. He's a solid backline. He'll burst those shields down in one arrow, as opposed to some other people who might have to go Wrecker, so at least they have that. But Project's draft, they have a primary healer now. They have a Naricon, kind of a stationary draft. They're going to have to deal with the Wrecking Ball. That is this Bomb King getting just pocketed from 18 different places. Siphon on him, too, probably, when things get dire. I don't know what they're going to do to kill that, but I think it's all about this Khan. Maybe this Overpower connects onto the Torv, onto the pocket themselves. Just get rid of them, and maybe Project lose the first fight, but win the rest.
It's going to be difficult. I just keep looking at this, and this Bomb King, look, it's already hard enough to kill Bomb King on his own. Yeah. Now you have to kill Bomb King with so much behind him. I don't know. It's not enough to make me say that you lost the draft, but it's definitely enough to make me say this is going to be a very difficult game for you. Shaolin has a lot of work cut out for him. Same thing for Andro. And on Bright Marsh, I don't know, the map lends itself over towards Sanguine's side. But again, I'm not going to play favorites, at least not yet. We'll have to see what they're able to do as we move into the map and whether or not they can kind of keep that up, because that's the biggest question, right? Bomb King with all this behind him, it sounds great. It sounds almost infallible, but at the same time, it can fall apart just like that.
Yeah, and we'll see. It comes down to the pockets, comes down to how well they play around each other. We can already hear the Bomb King Poison testing the waters, throwing those bombs, making sure they will be connecting onto his targets. I am very curious if Rock Monkey sticks out with that talent. Desert Silence being hovered by him right now. And that screams specific target to the Bomb King. So for those of you who don't know, the Silence arrow on Shaolin, if it hits Bomb King, he can't detonate. That means the only source of damage that Bomb King has is 10 damage stickies that he cannot blow up. So you can win battles with that. That to me though says maybe you just go for the pocket on the Strix instead. Let Ogre just waddle in and quickscope everything and let that be what brings you to a win.
Well, it's a lot of focus maybe onto this Bomb King. We'll have to see if it works out for them. Shots already ringing true for the Shaolin. Tanks low on the side of Sanguine. Hero forced to fall back as Quick It's aggressive on the side, but he's not getting aggressive on his own. He's over here because Poison's over here. They're just going to be hanging out. You can expect this duo to be the duo, but you don't have that bubble all the time, and G-Bunny is able to find that perfect window right before that shield could be reapplied. Poison goes down, and that gives Project an advantage pushing forward. Sanguine have to fall back.
Yeah, they kill quick, but they trade their lives for it. They should be able to follow up here, though. Aggression from Frog on this Androxus. Trying to chase, but they live. The majority of them get away, or at least just respawned. But Poison, no line of sight from anybody. Might need Siphon to live, but good damage from the Bomb King. We can see a kind of a new level of control from him on this map with these double pockets. We got to stay on his POV for now.
Well, it's going to be able to throw out a little bit of damage, but it's 87-48 here. So he's looking to try and pull the reins back in his favor. Shots are ringing true, but not true enough. Frog from the high ground, hanging out on the balcony, sprays included. Able to get the kill right there. Now they're going to be able to keep up the pressure. Hero goes down just like dominoes. Seems like Project have been able to knock Sanguine off of this point. And look, you look at Torvald and you might think, well, they have a second tank, but he's a support with a glorified health bar here. He's not going to be able to go in, and Project go ahead and hold on to that first point, and they're already moving this payload.
Yeah, Torvald, the reason he's been working is when you play him like a support, you play him like a second pocket. When you don't get Corvus, Torvald is the supplement with the Genos to give healing, to give that extra bit of pocket, that bit of speed, anything else that Corvus could grant you as well. But aggression right now, Ancient DR'd it though. Even though he pushed in with this, but the bubble saves Poison. He'll just walk away and kill him, I guess, just like that with Frog waiting on the other angle.
They're going to continue their aggression here as they moving forward. Kills coming up. Project as of right now. 4 of them in a row, and well, it looks like 5. Look, Baller Steve, you can ball all you want. There's not a lot that you're going to be able to do here. You're the one getting dunked on this time around. King Bomb's available for Poison. Poison's not available anymore, though, thanks to Frog, who's been in the right place, right time for this Bomb King every step of the way. Looks like Project are going to be able to open this one up with a very strong, succinct movement, maybe a 2-0, but Cuss goes down. Gogurt with a great snipe here. Try and buy themselves another minute and a half. This Payload is 20 feet, if even, away from converting. Pressure is up. Poison is down. He's going to be able to find Ancient, find G-Bunny. Looks to get aggressive. Might even be able to find this shot. Lin, there is the reveal. And that's going to be the kill. So Poison finally showing up. If Frog's not there to answer, we're going to be able to find something.
See what I mean about the triple pocket, though? I mean, they have the 2 normally, but also having the Term Siphon in the way makes it tough. The time and space. Oh, I was terrified for Frog right there. But I liked the choice by Steve to go for that. Could have it back up in time, but get rid of the person behind you when you can deal with him easily. But they end up pulling Poison back to fight that, which means he's not there forward. The Siphon Crash might make that happen as well. But the Siphon, so many things in the way to keep Poison alive.
That's going to keep him moving as of right now, but he does get eliminated at the end of it. All kills coming up. Frog goes immediately for the support, finds the shots. It's going to be G-Bunny who seals the deal. One more, and the hero puts him down. Now Quick's the last man standing. They walk that one in. It's a 2-0 for Team Project to start this one off with an absolute bang of a first round.
And the silence being used, I think, for Rock Monkey here, it's kind of nice because he can use the same build as Sandtrap. Why not, right? It's still focused on the crippling arrow anyway, so just get that duration up, get that cooldown up, and use it whenever you need to. Frog, though, is the one that's really having kind of a standout game right now after last game. 8-0 on that Androxus and already getting cauterized 3, but no wrecker other than G-Bunny up, so those bubbles are still going to be quite impactful. Frog may be needing at least 1 level of that as the game goes on. Healing also going to be coming out from this Torvald, but a little bit less when the cauterize is up. That 50% movement speed is really the impactful thing here, I think. 2 seconds, it's not that long, but it's just like that Lex card. People run Warrants out at max for the exact same effect. You know you want to see that on when you don't even have to invest points into it.
Worked well for him around this fight last time around. We'll have to see if they can keep it up here, but it's Hero seems to be the one who is under the ire of Team Project. I say that, but Frog finds his way to the back line, gets rid of the sniper. Gogurt not been able to have a free shot that comes off in his favor. Same thing for Poison, who's locked up here. King Bomb going to be rolling through the apartments looking for something, finds the stun onto Frog and helps find the kill. That will open up the door for this Bomb King to get aggressive and find his way back in. Bomb's going to be good. They lock down Rock Monkey, pushing down Cuss. It's going to be a couple of bombs away. He looks like he might be able to disengage from this one, but it takes him forever. It still costs him his life. 81% for Team Project, but comeback mechanic and the win for Sanguine means they'll capture this point should be too difficult for Project to get back in.
And the bubble will actually keep him alive through the accursed arm, even though they thought they had it. Frog not having the timing right for the nether step. Look at this hyper beam, just keeping them up in there and actually holding G-Bunny in the way for Poison. Goes right under the shield because he was being hovered up, and that'll get them that kill. Buy some even more space for them here. Gogurt just holding back by the cart, playing safe. Gotta wait. Can't get burst healed up. Need to play around that. Look at that, the Strix damage onto Rock gets him so low, and the flare keeping revealed, but Hero, aggressive, just willing to spend this reanimate.
Well, they're going to be able to get aggressive. That reanimate, like you said, was used. Hero wants to stay aggressive and isn't going to give it up. Double kill for Gogurt as he finds these shots, looking for a third as he puts down Cuss Cutie. Full wipe for Team Project. Sanguine have a few seconds where they get to walk forward uncontested. Coming around this last corner, Frog has respawned. But you've already lost maybe a little bit of that pressure. No one to continue staggering out means they get to group back up. So Project are going to be a little comfortable coming back into this, but they're still going to do it staggered out.
They get really aggressive as Ancient, just trying to fight Strix, but can't really get in. Hero's in the way. Hero's got Siphon, but they take a lot of ground back early. Poison still, though, kind of uncontested on this side. Bunny both looking forward. Everyone wants to pressure Hero, but Poison not willing to get aggressive yet, and it pays off. They have the timing a little bit split by Sanguine, and that will let them hold and reestablish this defense.
Oh, already, like you said, holding, reestablishing themselves in defense, but the shots are going to be good. Flashbang right to the face of Inara. Don't know if it's going to help, but it's definitely not going to hurt overall. It's not opening up any windows. 60 seconds left. Try and convert this one. Bomb's going to be good in the back line. Poison once again, just running it down. Double kill picked up here. Ancient looking to live, but not for long. Triple kill picked up for the BK. Quadra taken away because Gogurt was selfish and decided to find that shot, but it doesn't matter. They got rid of Frog, and they kept that payload rolling in. Just like Project slammed down to Sanguine answer back in kind.
Quick, too. Very, very quick on that turnaround. And not just because Quick's on the Torvald, just because they are moving fast and rolling through. Both DPS very close to the top of the damage chart. 70k for both of them. Poison really saying, hey, Bomb King pretty good when we have a comp that really works around it, and they're making it work. Even with the start of that fight that Bunny had, I mean, Bunny had an overpower instantly. They played off of that right away, but they just made it, they just lost even with that. Overpower should be a win, but the pocketed power that came around the far side turned it around against them. Bunny, I don't know why I can't think of this. He's missing a card that I feel like is really common in these builds, but I like what he has. Hope Guard's really good. Excessive Force 4 with a lot of extra ammo on this con, but still, no amount of sustain, no build will keep you alive through the pressure from this Bomb King, and he knows it. He's just going to run away and maybe look for an overpower onto somebody that will be a big impact in the game.
Well, you would have thought that the Bomb King would have ended up struggling a little bit more as time went on. Items came online, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Poison, after a little bit of a misstep early on, is going to be here now. The Speed Demon himself rolling around at the speed of sound. Unfortunately, there's no one for him to chase down here. King Bomb doesn't necessarily find anything big. Looks flashy doing it, though, and now they're in a position. Good zone out from the ultimate, but the shot from Frog is going to ring true. Gets rid of the BK, looks to get rid of the support here as a double kill comes out for the Andro, locking him down one more time. That 63% is going to be met by Team Project. This equal playing field definitely starting to come up towards the red side. Now it's just holding on to it. Frog goes down, though, right after he was able to pop his ult. So unfortunate positioning and timing for him. Stun down, but the Hyper Beam in return, trying to keep him off of the point. I just don't know if it's going to be enough, Kresnik. It looks like Project are going to be able to fight their way back into this one. Able to hold on to it, overtime going down. There's the bounce in from Hero, though. Holds on to it, reanimate even. To make sure this keeps going their way. Damage thrown out towards the Inara, but he trades his life out twice in the kill feed. Project still cap the point.
What a close turnaround there in the end. I love how they bubbled the Genos just to get the retouch, but even with that win, Hero doesn't realize the Androxus was next to him, so he doesn't turn to siphon that reversal, so Frog gets that massive amount of burst damage to end up taking him down, and that's really what I think hurt them the most. At the end of this, Project now, even though they won that mid, they lost the fight right after, so Sanguine are going to get real aggressive with this PK on this lane. We'll say, though, I do love the way that they played the Hyper Beam there to try to peel for Poison, but Poison, Resilience, just now bought, I think, now that his kill streak had ended. The Russian just won't stop. They're just trying to keep them locked out of their spawn. DR is down. They could even keep walking at these tanks.
Well, they're going to keep walking, but at this point, I feel like this is exactly almost what we expect, right? We're just going to chill here for the next minute and a half, I guess, where we wait out, because it just does not feel like Project, well, has a leg in this fight for the time being, as they're trying to figure out their way. All right, back in here.
Oh.
Nothing going their way. Poison finds another kill. I want to hype this up, but let's be honest. What is there to hype? They are getting locked in the base. The question is whether or not they can find their way back out. They have a minute left to do so. Immortal there for Gogurt. Can they hold on? 1 minute left on the clock. It's plenty of time on Bright Marsh, don't get me wrong. But Kresnik, they're having trouble getting down from the high ground.
Yeah, you know what? And we're just going to sit right here on this Torvald POV. This is true gameplay. Watching him spam and bubble Bomb King. Frog going behind, but the Nullify actually countered by the reversal. Frog will get a little bit of point time. We'll see how far back he can go. Not very. Speed helps significantly, and now they might be caught in a 5v4 up front with Hero peeling for Gogurt. They managed to keep their number advantage.
Don't worry. Well, now, number advantage is maybe the one that is going to be the question. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the way that Project are leaning. They're the ones getting knocked down time and time again. One finds two for Poison there. Gets himself another triple kill. Flourish on the end, a quadra kill as he takes down Cuss Cutie. It might not mean too much. They've been sat outside of Project's base, but it's the Flourish of which Poison is able to do so. That payload's not getting touched. 5 seconds left. Frog maybe gonna prove me wrong just to get an overtime touch. That payload's not gonna end where it started. It's gonna end about 2 feet forward from where it started. Project unfortunately able to get back in there. Now Sanguine are in the position to try and turn this around. You bring that amount of control, a 23, 8, and 9 Bomb King to this point fight, I have no doubts in your mind. In my mind, at least.
You know, I gotta say, I love the decision by Quick there at the very end to bubble the Genos that was under pressure. That actually ended up saving them. If Frog kills that Genos, no one stops Frog, the overtime comes in. Yeah, it's probably not super likely that they managed to push the cart all the way during overtime, but it was what they needed in that moment. Bowler Steve lives through the angio pressure from Frog. He ends up getting that kill no one can touch, and it actually is exactly what they need. Look at these healing charts, though. I'm just going to keep these up for the rest of this rollout. 170,000 more coming out of the Damba, but it's not what matters. It's the shielding and all that that's also coming from the Torvald that's helping them keep up.
Yeah, this is where the post-game stats screen is definitely going to be helpful. Poison has like 6 lives, essentially, and now once again the Speed Demon's going forward, rolling around faster than Sonic the Hedgehog himself. Again, unfortunately, trades his life out that time around. Helps kill off Ancient, though, so 1-for-1 trade. Maybe more beneficial to Team Project not having Poison around for a little bit, but it doesn't matter because now they just enable Gogurt. Gets aggressive and is looking for his own shots. Can he find them? Can he lock him down? That's going to be the question. Shots from the Shaolin. Rock Monkey making it work for him. And now, Hero, there's only so much you can do. It doesn't look like he's going to use the reanimate here.
Yeah, actually, I want to point out that Rock, since Gogurt was on such a big kill streak, Rock actually got 80% back on his ultimate already. Money. On all those bombs, but look at this pocket on the side. How are Sanguine going to retouch this if they have a chance? We go top down. They're actually just not dismounting Hero, who runs into the back, and a Hyper Beam will keep them off of Poison for now. Frog kind of gliding around everywhere. Still don't go for the touch, though. I hope they don't forget this. Hero makes it in and manages to get a pick on Frog in the process.
Well, it's 84-60. Team Project have the percentage in their favor, but not control of the objective. Sanguine going to be able to match that 84, no problem. They find themselves 3 clean kills, looking for one shot on the cuts is all it would have taken, but Gogurt not able to find it. Rock Monkey locked away, and that's all that matters. Sanguine take game number 2 in a very convincing fashion. Well, I say convincing, it was a 4-3. It wasn't convincing, it was just a fast one.
It didn't feel like it, though.
I mean, that was just both sides slaughtering the other, and in return slaughtering the other. I mean, I'm interested to see the BK damage and shielding from Torvald, and I guess healing on the side of Sanguine. But that was one of the fastest 4-3s I think I've ever seen. I've been casting Paladins for 3 years. Actually, today, I've been casting Paladins for 3 years. And that is the fastest 4-3 I've ever seen.
Here, listen, Gore. Since you wanted, I can bring up the stats right away. We don't need to dilly-dally. We can go right into it. From what we're seeing here, 104,000 shielding for Quick. with decent damage too.
Dude, look at Poison. Didn't even get
Wait, I
top
didn't even
damage
look.
on his team. What a
Gogurt did.
joke.
Because Poison just killed everything so fast. No one got healed through it. No one got healed. They just died instantly. I don't know how else he could possibly get any damage. Honestly, Gogurt, he poked someone away. They got a chance to actually run and hide. Poison just hunted him down from start to finish.
Well, it's unfortunate, I think, to be in that scenario. Rock Monkey did a considerable amount of damage for someone that came through. I'm looking over 104,000, like you had said. Shielding, 104,000. Healing as well, with an extra 10k sprinkled in there. Plus 7,000 self-heal on top of all that for Poison. If you thought this man's was going to die, the answer was no. 9 times total, 5 times there for Gogurt. Dies less. But let's be honest, he's not the one that's the talk of the town. 400 credits behind what Poison was able to accrue. 24, 9, and 10. That was about as all-in on BK draft as you could physically get here. And so I'm very happy to watch that. That was just fun. Through and through. That was enjoyable. Earlier when we were in Brazil, we got a lot of competitive, close games. I'm always happy to see a 7-point game if that's what we're going to see. That was just a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, for sure. It was just super strong from both teams when they were winning. But it started a project where wow, they really figured this out, and then just Sanguine just all over them from that point forward. The damage was really low on Project, and I'm gonna say that's specifically because of all the shielding done. None of that counted towards their damage stats. That all doesn't end up getting to add up, so it just ends up looking, I think, a lot worse for them as I get ready to bring us into the next map here. It looks like Project now, hopefully for their sake, not on their last legs, but they bring us to Stone Keep.
Yeah.
Is going to be the map that they want to save this set on, the map that they think they can do. But I remember this being a favorite map of Sanguine last phase.
Yeah, this is one of those maps that it's very difficult to honestly argue who's going to be in control through this one. We realize in control's in Brazil. Yeah. I get it. I'm gonna beat myself to the
don't make that joke again, please. I'm going crazy if I have to hear more in control puns, even in other regions.
Other regions, if that phrase comes up, you know where it's going. Either way, it's going to be difficult to say that the Team Project are going to be the ones that can maybe reel this back. But I will say the good news. So let's say you go through a 4-3 long haul of a game, man. I mean, super difficult. And then, you have to come in and try to make the game-saving play. You're down 2-0. That's difficult. You're strained. You just spent a long time mentally invested in a game that you ended up losing. It's unfortunate. You get slapped around on either side there for Sanguine and Project. I think Game 2 can just exist in our memory as something fun. I don't think either of these teams are taking it personally, whether they lost or not for Project. So the good news is that their mental cannot physically be shattered after that. I mean, maybe it is. Bomb King was kind of doing a lot, but it feels like it was too fun for everyone involved for that to truly take root. So we'll have to see how it affects them as they come here. Andro maybe going back for Frog as they come in here to Stone Keep.
Yeah, they want to pick it up. I think they're mostly just taking it away from Poison. They don't want him to have it, but Frog also looked pretty good on it last game. Honestly, I felt like Frog was performing really well on that Androxus, so it makes sense to get the ROM for Bunny. Even into the Genos, you can play around that level of counters. I mean, Quick did it a couple games ago. And Furia for them, so that screams aggression. That's why you pick up that Furia, for that Inflame, for that bit of burst healing. I think it's a good combination to have.
I can't remember which ult it was last time, but it was, one of those press E's, you win typically, at least in terms for there on Bright Marsh. My brain completely blanked on it. But that's how far we've come, right? Where certain things were always this is going to be a victorious Furia and Inflame for the longest time. It was who has Furia. Is Inflame on? Then they win. There's no counter to it. But I'm feeling good about Sanguine. Honestly, give me a Torvald, baby. Just lock it back in. We'll go.
I was in the middle of typing it in. I was in the middle of typing it in, Gore. I was giving it to you. Run it back. Run it right back.
You get Bomb King, Genos, Torvald on Stone Keep. Look. All right, so you guys just load up Bright Marsh again. Let's watch that one. That one was fun. I know for that. We'll have to see.
You don't think this is going to be fun, Gore?
What Stone Keep is going to bring if they have more answers to it. Whenever that Inflame is available, I expect Poison, presumably, on this Bomb King to get killed off. Any other time, I think it's going to be interesting for Project. We'll have to watch as it comes out. In chat, Well, I want to know how you're feeling about this one, because I like it. I'm a big fan of what's going on here. And you know what, Kresnik? I don't think we've been doing it all day, but I'm going to do a poll.
Oh, you're going to do a poll
right now.
See,
if I can remember.
I'm usually the one who does the polls, and I can't do it while doing all the stuff I do for this. There's no physical way. Maybe when I'm not casting, I can do it. Maybe when I'm like just doing camera, but there is no way. I hope the poll is something about the run back, but we'll see. I hear you hitting enter with absolute force, and while you do that, I'll get us into the game here on Stone Keep with again the straight run back from them, but a very different draft on the other side.
There we go. Well, it's going to be fun to watch either way. I'm excited to, at this point, maybe we watch, I don't know, we spent a lot of time getting the quick Torvald POV. Maybe we get Poison's POV. I don't know, we got a lot of that last time, too.
It's a balance score, because if this was the main broadcast, we would only watch the Poison POV. I have to give Quick some love on this Torvald. No one else is going to watch Torvald POVs but me. I'm a crazy person.
And let's be honest, Torvald isn't seen in a lot of regions. This is a good chance to showcase what he does still have to offer. We believe in the Robo Arm, at least here on the PPC as of right now. And for Sanguine fans, we do. Good shot right there to start things off against Rock Monkey. It's not easy to do here for Gogurt. This is a match that, given countless lands and countless histories, almost always will go towards Rock, but it doesn't seem like anybody is going to win that one. Unfortunately, losing out on that first blood. Hero taken down. It seems like even though Sanguine are running it back, it's definitely not taking as... it's not as fast a set as it was on Bright Marsh. And a quick pause as well. Maybe got hit so hard by the BK they got knocked to the login screen there. So we'll have to take a second to come back into this. But I wanted to start that off. I mean, Hero goes down. That's going to be easy percentage for Project, but that didn't seem to stop Poison there at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, they are still capping, though. I have the game open still in front of me, and Ancient is still on the objective. Everyone on Sanguine else is deathballed on top of the enemy side of Fire, but they are still getting capped. Project should have another fight here. It should not be a unwinnable situation. Looking at the way that they're positioned right now, Ancient should buy at least 6% more in the cap. And they have ROM for retouch and Mave. You know, if they even just get some poke, charge up some of these ultimates, and Inflame combined with a Midnight gives them so many chances, I feel, to cross that space and actually make it all the way in here. But having this Nando, I feel like he will kind of crumple when he gets looked at, especially if the Torvald manages to catch him when he's turning around. Nullify just knocks that shield down.
Well, Kresnik, I've got important poll results coming in for this. Who do you think will win? Well, it was asked to everyone in chat. It was close, but the viewers are going to win this set overall.
Like
51% going over them. Viewers like you watching this one, definitely helping us keep the PPC alive, and we appreciate you for hanging out here on a Friday as we, again, close things out with a double header North America, where Sanguine seems to have forgotten the memo of slow-paced moves. I love that this is going on, though. TDM with the side of objective play comes in. It's always perfect flavor. 90% to 60% as Team Project get back on the position. And Ancient going to be getting aggressive here. Heroes low, but not dead and not out. And that's all that matters when it comes down to it. Mave, Frog doing whatever they can. Finds a kill on the baller Steve in the background. Is it going to be enough? As of right now, the answer is no. 93 to 90. They're still trying to hold on to it. They end up losing Hero as well. Ancient still stunned out and locked down there. Poison with a good King Bomb, not able to turn things around in their favor on his own. Inflame now popped. That's the go button. That's the win button for point number one. Project start this one off just as strong as they did on Bright Marsh.
Yeah, they gotta hope they can actually continue carrying the momentum forward. But right now they have a good aggressive zone, I think, with Bunny going top right already to fight them. But he's staring at Poison. Poison doesn't know. There's no way he doesn't. Poison. He was ROM. The reload is so loud. And how do you not see the minigun getting chucked on the ground? And they're gonna just spend this accursed arm to push him even further forward. As they keep this zone up. Right now, Bunny on the low ground. Monkey. Rock Monkey also below, but gets nullified. Yeah. Could go down. Hero trying to chase, but Gogurt gets the kill instead.
At least being able to chase them down, keep pressure up for them. This is what they need. Find themselves a 2-0. And not many people can stare down a Bomb King while he sticks them, but Rom is doing it. As his ult available, we get slow Void Grips and locked away. Gogurt credit for the kill. We saw where the damage was coming from. Either way, finally a little bit of a pause for Sanguine to take a breath.
Not another pause.
Maybe take a drink of water as they come through. Not an actual pause. They're going to count the in-game timer this time. But Midnight, Kresnik, Not sure is a great way to get back in, but it doesn't seem like they were close enough. Maybe it just zones Sanguine out so they can touch this payload again.
It forced him back, and it's an ultimate that charges decently fast, so they'll be able to make something out of it. Gogurt getting dangerously low in the back, but again, quick. This Torvald great at kind of saving when that happens, keeping Gogurt alive. Aggression up top still, though, with Strix kind of trading into them. But look at this rotation, low ground. Bunny stays alive. The tanks are both really low. They could push them, but they're just sitting back and playing their range instead.
It's gonna be helpful. I mean, you got a sniper, use it, right? And if you have that advantage, it's always going to be helpful for you. Mave gonna have some trouble for Frog to get back there consistently in this wide open courtyard. One of the nicest places in the realm. If I was a tour guide, this is somewhere I would show off it as somewhere you could go. Definitely not worth it with all the fights that go on, though. Definitely not safe. They do aggress down. Payload just a few feet away from conversion, but it looks like Hero's going to be contesting it. Reanimate's available if this Terminus so chooses to try and stay alive, but it looks like it doesn't matter. The shielding's going to be good. The kills are coming up red as well. Sanguine looking to hold on to this one. As of right now, they just have 10 seconds to kill. The grouping from Project, they're on the side. They're in position, Rom and Fernando. Should be able to get the touchdown, Kresnik. It's just a question of whether or not they can hold on to it. Ancient walks in at half health. Rock Monkey looks to get aggressive up here. Hero goes down, and that payload's moving forward. They're going to have to jump down and Sanguine to hold on to the defense. And they're doing so, but not happily. Hero is going to be back thanks to the reanimate, and they're doing whatever they can to keep this one moving as far backward as they can. If you're Sanguine, you don't want this to convert. G-Bunny, low health shots ringing true for Sanguine, and it looks like they might be able to find him, but it's taken so long. Finally, they burn him down, but the rest of Project is here to get aggressive. 1 kill is going to be able to open it up. 2 kills seals the deal. They find themselves at 2-0. Harder than it was on Bright Marsh. Same end result.
What a start for Project, and they even got the reanimate out. Hero used it for the defense, thought it would be enough, but it wasn't. They just got the damage traded out. The draft from Project seems to be an answer to this Genos Torvald composition, winning a lot of these engagements here. Damage still tilted in favor of Sanguine, but I mean, of course it is. Look at what they have on their team. I don't think there's any way that it's not, honestly. And I don't know what loadouts to even look at on Sanguine. We just saw all of them last game. It's a straight run back, so we'll just take a look at this Genos again by Steve, playing that range a little bit. Less duration for more range, but it lets him play safer into an aggressive comp like Project brought to the table today.
Honestly, safer is better, at least as of right now. We'll have to see whether or not it keeps them safe enough as we move into this. Already on the point, it's going to be Project. Comeback mechanic enabled for Sanguine. That's how it went last time. Let's see if they can do it again this time around. Midnight looks good. Daggers look better here as Poison tries to get that ult off, but it's right there in the vision. Good Immortal saving the lives of Frog one more time. Good shot onto Cusq, but Gogurt killing most of his damage, most of his kill potential nullified here. They're finally getting aggressive. Quick goes down. This is looking good for Project.
Yeah, this pressure up still, but they trade out Bunny for it. Project absorbs so much damage. Who is going to retouch? It looks like it'll have to be Hero, but they actually still have the King Bomb. It never ended up going off, so they stun Ancient, but Ancient has a shield up again. This heat-seeking beam from Cuss ends up backing up, and the time and space by Steve. The retreat does get stopped. With double comeback, I think it has to be G-Bunny for the touch, but there's a Genos, there's a Torvald, there's a crushed Terminus. There's so many things in his way that he'll have to find a way to sneak through.
All we know is if there was a day to be a Genos player, it seems to be today. Brazil and NA making it work for him, and that is going to be the touch from G-Bunny. 93 to 81, 96, 99, as they get a couple bits of percentage there for Project, but it's going to be in overtime. G-Bunny is gone. It's a 4v5. Make that a 3v5 plus a Hyper Beam to give Sanguine an advantage. Ancient's shield goes down. Rock Monkey gets a shot into the reversal, but also eats a shot to the head. That's going to be good for Sanguine. Like you said, with double comeback, they seal the deal, get themselves a point. Let's see if they can answer Project back in kind, find a conversion like they did on Bright Marsh.
And we'll see right now, Poison really far ahead of his team right now, but he has Quick, giving him that line of sight, looking for those bubbles. But he doesn't want to be feeding those when he has the Genos pocket on him, but actually doesn't have it. He is just a magnet for these beams. I think every beam Cuss has thrown has hit Poison, I swear. It just keeps happening. But aggression in main, both tanks and a flashbang could open this up, and Rock Monkey with an aggressive counter ends up getting Quick, and that'll let them push forward and retake their high ground.
I'll tell you, if I had to put money on best Furia in the league right now, I'd still probably give it to Cuss. There's a couple people that are still left that could probably give him a run for his money, but as of right now, the consistency, like you said, through the beams as well as just everything that has been coming up for this Fury has been phenomenal for Project. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be enough to hold this off. It's been a fun game so far, but right now, Project are looking to try and hold this full thing back in their favor. Fast pace, non-stop, double kill, looking for 3 here. It's going to be Rock Monkey, and he's going to be able to find it. Baller Steam taken down. Now there's only 2 left. Looks for 1 more. G-Bunny takes that kill away. Ancient gets the 5th one, but it's still a full team wipe here. With a minute left, there's still a chance for Sanguine to bounce forward, but I feel like I've been saying this already today. Sanguine, though, that we're at the base of Project, holding him in on Bright Marsh. We'll have to see if Project can keep up the same amount of onslaught damage that we saw last map.
Project really seemed to have just gotten to a map and a comp that makes this composition fall apart as it goes, but Gogurt kind of trying to prove otherwise right now with the Strix. Quick takes one of his kills that could have been part of a quad, but a triple ends up going to Gogurt. As they get ready to take this space again, they need to have all of the map control, or at least all of this side of the map, of course, in tow. They can put both DPS up top, and I think that's smart. Gogurt can see pretty deep in the top left. He can also cover that top right from back here and be in line of sight of Quick. So good positioning by him. Don't really need to care about fire as much when if they push through that door, what are they walking into? A pocketed Strix, a pocketed Bomb King, and Death probably waiting on the other side.
It's not exactly the most comfortable way to maybe try and jump into something like a Bomb King, like you said. Pocketed Death is probably the best term to describe it, so let's see if they can keep anything going. Frog going to go down on the side, though. Ancient doesn't look like he's going to be too healthy too long. The same thing could be said for G-Bunny here. Both tanks getting eliminated simultaneously there. Sanguine keep marching this one forward. Rock Monkey, anybody want to jump down and defend? Well, you're not going to get the chance. That's a conversion. That's a 2-2. That's a tie game in game number 3. I'll be honest, if I'm Project, I'm starting to sweat in my boots a little bit.
Oh, for sure. After the turnaround, when the game looked so good at the start, and you can see the damage charts, again, the DPS on Sanguine are running away with it, and that's exactly what you are going to see when you have a comp like this. The Genos Torvald pocketing both DPS in the mix here, and no real way to mitigate that damage other than maybe Nando Shield. You know, instead of healing, I'm actually going to pull up the shielding charts as we take a look at the composition here. Torvald ahead of Nando, who some people say is basically just a shield. Torvald apparently the same thing, 75k damage that would have been dealt right to their health bars, just eliminated from the game. And as we get further, Cauterize online, Wrecker online, so many items the Team Project have to get, and Sanguine, they get caught. Maybe they get one person with Wrecker, and they're feeling fine.
Well, we'll have to see, again, whether or not they're able to hold on to this one. Try to fight their way back into it. Last time on Bright Marsh, they were able to kind of keep things up in their favor as they grabbed point number 3 for Team Project. We'll see if they can do it here. Frog, I should say, is going to be able to get a little aggressive. Rock Monkey cleans up the dirty damage done, but it's going to be the Bomb King into the back line. Looks for the Rock Monkey, finds Rock Monkey and gets him, and that's going to be brilliant for them to pick it up. Now just trying to figure out their way back onto here. It's 54% and still rising for Team Project. They maintain control of the point. They're finally going to start slipping, but it takes so long. Sanguine, they've got a lot of catching up to do.
I told you these beams are heat sink. He just can't avoid the poison, but he was able to still find that kill onto the ROM and not have to wait for his respawn to refight this. I like the idea of just giving him those little bubbles. When you have Chronos 3, give him ammo, give him speed, anything he might need when he does get engaged. On, and they're waiting to move in right now. Our Project with no ultimates, while Sanguine still have 3. They're going to spend them. Maybe a time and space to sync up with a Crush, but either way, they could just hold on to it, play this Death Ball, and get ready to move to the objective.
Damage is going to be good through time and space available. I said if today is the day to be a Genos player. He's going for the snipe, not going to connect this time around, but it doesn't matter. It forces repositioning from Team Project, and it looks like Cuss is going to be awkwardly off to the side. Gogurt usually looking for shots over there, not going to be able to find it. Rock Monkey finds Hero. That means that the point control definitely feels a little bit more lopsided, but Reanimate always changes things when the tank comes back to life. Quick, making sure to keep them up on their feet. Kill after kill after, well, you named it, one more kill that's going to be able to come through. G-Bunny left on his lonesome, taken down, not even in time to touch, just after they capture the point. Sanguine find the kill there on the tank and the support for Project. So now, about 10 seconds, let's say, of free push time. Should be able to get about third, if not half, done before they start to meet big resistance.
I'm happy seeing the Crush. Hero was using his Crushes a little bit too early, I think, before, and now he's using it to knock down Ancient's shield in specific and to counter the Rom Dash. You really got to save those cooldowns to buy as much time as you can for your team. Right now, look at this aggression. Both of them pushing on the low ground. This Bomb King being siphoned on, being bubbled, still walking down here, but they use the Inflame to break out, and they have to disengage, buy some space, and maybe win this off of just forcing them through chokes that you're putting an insane amount of damage into.
Well, once again, Bomb King having some good times, maybe not the best times like we saw on the last map. We'll have to see. King Bomb ready. Could try to zoom through the map one more time. Rock Monkey, though, gets rid of Gogurt without a cursed arm. Finds some really nice flick shots, being able to lock down Poison with the assistance of Ancient. They're looking to push back and force Sanguine into an awkward position. Hero, I kind of like this call, runs towards the payload. Worst case scenario, he's going to get some progress done, or at least force Project to lapse on their aggressive defense. Either way, now they're all falling back. Sanguine has to regroup, figure out how to tackle this beast from a different angle.
See, with Project kind of zoning forward. Look at Bunny actually in the back line, too. I like this kind of approach to this, keep them split right now, not getting gripped, so he'll get right into Gogurt. No one really turning to Peel. Gogurt could just go down here if he doesn't have the stealth, and he doesn't with Poison. Maybe following, even with one kill traded. They're still looking good for Project, but the Peel from the Crush, it's not enough. Bunny still finds a second.
They're still looking for more. I'm just watching repeats. This feels like the defense that we saw from Sanguine on Bright Marsh. I'm going to keep saying it, as long as it resembles it, and so far, they're keeping it up. It's just whether or not Project can, one, maintain it for another 30 seconds to keep this payload from moving, but two, then win the map as they come back in on point number, well, the final point number 7. So we'll have to figure out if round 4 is going to be what holds in the future for Project, or Sanguine are going to pull a repeat of last round. Get back to the payload. It's contested right now. It's a long way to go, Kresnik. But they can at least hold on to this in overtime for a little bit. And they got a kill there on the Rock Monkey. Frogs one hit away from dead. Same thing here for Ancient. They've got the progress going in their favor.
I think they could snowball this if they manage to get some good kills, and this is exactly what I mean with this 4 ultimates. Excuse me, they used the flashbang to keep themselves going earlier, and they can make it work. I think it's kind of going to come down to what the first pick is, right? They're going to just get through this choke by the time they get to contest. If Gogurt finds an early kill, they can make it happen, but Midnight's the first one to come out, paired with the Inflame. 2 ultimates that they really need on the side of Project, spent right away, will kill Hero. He will not spend the Reanimate in Project. 2 ultimates into a brick wall, effectively, and Sanguine get to go into the last mid strong.
Yeah, I think you're happy. If you are going to walk into this, Rock Monkey, Cursed Arm, cool, maybe it gets a kill. Maybe is the key word there. Ancient, Immortal, good. Maybe you save some lives. G-Bunny with his stun, maybe he finds some setup. But not having the Midnight, not having the Inflame, I think is going to end up hurting a little more than helping overall. It's definitely in favor of Sanguine here. I'm looking at a Hyper Beam. Reanimate's still available. A King Bomb to start off the round, forget about it. I like Sanguine's ability coming into this. But I also like Project's healing, or Cuss, being able to keep everyone topped off pretty well. It's just going to be the question now. Can you out-heal the damage Poison's going to be dishing out?
It's going to be tough, but there isn't a lot of cauterize. I mean, look at Quick Hero, Steve, all blue and yellowed out of their minds. A lot of utility there that they have, and we'll see if that's enough to make it happen. But Bunny's actually pretty close to them. He can engage at any time, and he has the Cataclysm to escape a Void Grip if he wants, but he might have dilly-dallied a little bit too much. Rock Monkey gets nullified, has to peel for him, but only finds Gogurt.
That's going to be one good kill picked up for against Rock Monkey, I should say. Gogurt, like he said, able to find credit for that one. Looks like this is just working too well for Poison, locked in the corner, but it doesn't matter. He's the one finding the damage. The bubbles have just been so good. Coming down quick, has been on point with these Poisons. Still alive, still rolling forward, still has the King Bomb if he so needs it. Hyper Beam into that last engagement, flashbang charged and yeeted. And it's 84% here for Sanguine, looking to close it out. King Bomb gonna come rolling down again, faster than light as he comes crashing in. Bomb's gonna be there on the Ancient Immortal. It's going to be used, but it's only gonna keep you alive for so long. Cursed Arm used to try and find some damage, but it's 99-24. Just trying to hold on is Team Project at this point, looking for those kills, but they're not coming up. Instead, it's going to be the shots. Now Polished Team puts some damage into the front line. One by one they fall, and Sanguine wins it all for today. This set goes their way, and they just look good doing it.
I'm sorry, I'm losing it over how
That was a fun set.
Did you see how Rock Monkey died at the very end? Gogurt's flare bounced off the wall and just went doop, 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 and hit him from behind as he was backing up with the reversal, and it killed him. I swear. Chat agrees with me. Chat agrees with me.
I'll watch the clip. I'll run it back, but don't worry. I'll get to see that by the end of tonight. Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can say anything other than unlucky for that kill, but Sanguine, they had the draft. They figured out the draft, and it worked. The Torvald ended up... You saw what it was doing. People are saying that Torvald is this dead character in these other regions. Look at what just happened to Poison in that final engagement. They just couldn't kill him. They had 2 people on him, but Torvald, the Peel monster himself, playing the role of the support, kept him alive through just an endless onslaught of damage. And I have the stats here to back this up. I had to go look at the top team. I saw Sanguine, and I'm like, oh, wait, did I forget to switch the game? No, they just ran the same exact comp twice in a row, and Poison almost broke 200,000 damage.
Well, hey, if it works once, I guess actually rephrase that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they did. They said, you know what, Brimarsh, that was fun. Let's do that again. And, well, hey, 184,000 damage, as you highlighted, 168,000. This time, Poison is able to be number 1 on the team. Well, I don't know where to look next. 127,000 shielding, 135,000 healing. I mean, there's a lot of numbers that are too large on the side of Sanguine there. Definitely end up playing and maybe tell the story of how that game went. I like what we saw out of Project, but that one was just fast. I think in any other world, this is a 5-game set, but because of the pace of this one, of course it ends in 3.
Yeah, of course. I mean, with the way that Sanguine were clutching it out near the end, I think that was what really led them to it. They had that clutch factor that normally we would say Project should have, being where they came from historically, but it's in the pocket of Sanguine. After that win they had at the summer finals earlier, they can bring that forward and keep themselves. I was about to say back at the top of the region, that I remembered that's just not true, because Pickled Pepper, Prolific, Snap, and all these teams have shot themselves up to the top of these standings that Sanguine were so used to dominating. And if they keep playing like that, I mean, yes, it was against Team Project, who are at the bottom of the standings. If they play like that, they have that level of teamwork, they can, I think, really put a fire under these teams at the top of the North American standings.
Yeah, I'm excited to continue watching these two grow. It's been something we've been saying it literally all phase, and we said this earlier. Me and you highlighted it. This is a long one. You're going to face everybody 3 times throughout all of this. So thrice round robin for them. There's plenty of opportunities for Sanguine and Project to clap down teams like Pickled Pepper. But you got to start beating each other first, and I think this is a good step in the light for Sanguine as they continue moving forward. And I'm just excited. It's been confusing watching them down after such a crazy performance in Phase 1 and during the summer finals. Now I expect to see them continue this kind of run throughout North America, and we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. We talked about the North American standings, and to see that, we'll have to close out the entire region. We're going to take a break, and on the other side of that break, Snap-In versus Flashpoint. Stick around. We'll be right back.